So the first card you have for your past is the King of Wands. So yeah, I'm actually feeling a little bit of anger, or actually quite a lot of anger around this card. This is like suppressed anger. This is like holding yourself back from saying something or doing something. It's like, you felt that you really wanted to say something about something, but then you didn't quite do that. You really wanted to. I hope this makes sense, but I'm seeing someone might have been actually rewriting history or something like that, saying things to other people or saying things on social media, and I think you heard whatever this was they were saying or something like that, and I think you knew that whatever this was just was not true. You knew it. You knew that. And yeah, I don't think you actually said anything in the end. I think you were really dying to. You wanted to say something. This king, this king's almost on the edge of his seat. He's ready to jump up. He wants to take action, but he isn't quite getting up yet. He's still thinking. He's thinking, oh, I really want to get up because this is Wands. This is about doing things quickly. He wants to do that. He's just in the time of just thinking before he's ready to do that. So even if you didn't say anything, you're still very angry, you're still very hot-headed like this king. If you look at his crown, there are flames all around his crown, so hot-headed. That's how you were. So you might not even have to say anything about this at all in the future if you're tempted to say anything in the future, because I think people will eventually realise that whatever this person was saying just wasn't adding up. And I think this will probably sort itself out before you even have to say anything. I think people will realise kind of what's going on, and that what they're saying or what they said just isn't true. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your past is the Moon. So yeah, whoever this was, obviously they weren't being honest, I'm seeing that, but they could have been under some kind of deluded belief system or something like that, if that makes sense. I know that sounds a bit strange, but maybe they were telling themselves a kind of skewed version of the truth. And maybe this was to justify something to themselves, something they were doing, or even they were just trying to make themselves feel better or something like. I don't know why it was, but they were telling themselves this kind of deluded thing that was wrong over and over again, and they might have even started to believe it themselves. Yeah, this is a very strange thing. It's like, they said something over and over again to themselves, and they kind of started to believe it was true themselves. And yeah, this is a very deluded way of thinking. Yeah, again, I'm seeing you heard about this. It was very frustrating for you. But, I think if this resonates, I think you are right not to say anything. And I think you just decided to concentrate on yourself, not on this person. And I think that was a really good thing, a really positive thing for you to do. I know that if you had have said something, you would have felt great at the time, or not great, but you would have felt better at the time, letting it out of your system. But then, the aftermath of that probably would have been worse. It probably would have created a lot more drama. So, yeah, I think you did the right thing. The last card you have for your past is Temperance. So, yes, again, Temperance. Tempering yourself, tempering your emotions. But I think you also moved past this. Not only past this, but you moved upwards, like this beautiful Temperance card is creating something good out of a bad thing. So, excuse me, if you had have actually said something, yeah, again, it probably would have taken you right back to square one in your emotions around this person. And I think also this really shows how much you've grown since you were around them. I think you would have given them some kind of reaction in the past, and this time you didn't. So, yeah, they just didn't get a reaction from you, and that's a big positive step for you. That's what I'm seeing, excuse me. So, sorry about that. The first card you have for your present is the Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is a fantastic card. I love this. This is like energy, rushing forward, doing things, getting things done. It can be about creativity as well. So you could be redirecting this anger that you had toward this person, this negative energy, into positive energy, useful energy. And that also reflects the Temperance card as well, which is about, turning a bad thing into a good thing. So, so you're turning this, you're using this negative feeling, this negative energy into something that was going to benefit you. And also, I'm seeing your confidence is also growing at this time, and I'm seeing that because of how you reacted. I think if you were low in confidence, you'd want to kind of justify yourself and justify why they were lying or whatever, but you didn't do that. You kind of rose above that. I'm also seeing someone around you at this time, someone who's very, very, very confident, a very confident person. This person might be inspiring you, and even it might even be getting you out of an old routine or something like that, because I'm seeing someone could be inviting you to do new things. These are completely new things, way, way out of your comfort zone, something completely different. These aren't terrible things, these are really fun things, but these are completely new things for you. So, if this resonates, I really hope you're saying yes to a lot of these invitations, because I think there is a need. I am feeling this need for you to kind of shake things up a bit. Not just in one area of your life, but in a lot of different areas of your life. I think, I don't mean for you to kind of shake up everything. It's not like I want you to kind of leave your home, leave your job, go out on the street and start playing guitar and kind of starting to make yourself a singer. I don't mean anything crazy like that. Maybe even if you just start small, with small things, that can start to help you kind of get yourself onto a new track, a new way of thinking. This probably sounds a bit silly, but maybe things like going to new places, wearing new things, wearing new colours, putting new things around your house, or putting new art on the walls, something like that, painting things a different colour. These little things, they might sound silly, but they can make you start to feel a little bit different about yourself, and that can make you kind of think in new ways. So also, if you're in the middle of working on something, say if you're working on a creative project or you're stuck somewhere, you've come to some kind of roadblock, doing these small things can really help you to think in more creative ways, and they can get you past any of these roadblocks. You might be thinking, I don't know how I'm going to get past this. But then when you have all of these creative thoughts and these creative ideas coming into your head, you might think in new ways. You might think, I haven't thought about this. There's a third way or a fourth way or something I haven't thought of. So it's like this kind of change, shaking things up a bit, can really get you off the train track that you're on and kind of shift you off that and into a new road, into something new. That's really important for you to do this, I think, at this time. The next card you have for your present is the Seven of Swords. Yes, this is a really tricky card. It can be about cheating, lying, stealing, all of these horrible kind of things. So I don't mean to keep on talking about this person in the King of Wands, this frustrating person, this kind of person who wasn't very honest. This could be an ex I'm seeing. This is definitely someone who you were very, very close to at one time. I'm seeing a lot of emotion around them. I'm seeing a lot of emotion, first of all, that you had for them when you were with them. And I'm also seeing they felt a huge amount of lack. The man in this card feels a lack. He feels like he can't pay for things that he wants. He can't earn what he wants. He can't get the money together to buy whatever this is, these swords. So he takes other people's things. He takes things that don't belong to him. So this person really felt a lack, or they felt a gap in their life when you weren't in their life anymore. They just felt this big lack. They felt this big gap. And this could be why they were kind of creating a fantasy world around themselves. Again, I'm seeing them starting to believe what they were telling themselves. Now, sometimes if you tell yourself something over and over again and you start to believe it, sometimes that can be a good thing. For example, if you're starting a new business and you tell yourself, I'm going to be really successful in this, I'm going to work really hard, good things are going to happen to me, it's going to be profitable, it's going to be great, it's going to be fun, and it's going to work well, and then you start to work toward that, then yes, that can be a very positive thing. But in this case, obviously, they're telling themselves something fanciful, some kind of lie, and they're telling themselves this over and over again, and they're starting to believe it. So this is a very negative thing for this person. So they're feeling a lack, and they're probably still feeling like that. So I actually feel a bit sorry for this person. I know you're not going to like to hear that, but I'm feeling a bit sorry for them, because they're feeling this lack and they're trying to fill it with things that aren't true. It's very sad when you're in that condition. But the good thing that came out of this was that, for you, was that, you make a real effort to surround yourself by people who are genuine, people who are going to be honest. And you had to make a real effort to do that, and that's what you do from now on. Every person that comes into your life, you say to yourself, is this an honest person? Can I trust them? I'm not going to jump into any friendship, any relationship, anything like that until I know them first. I'm going to give myself some time to really get to know them. And then I'm going to work out whether this is someone who I can really trust, who I want around me. That was a really positive thing for you that came out of that time. The last card you have for your present is the Six of Swords. So even more swords. So yeah, this person in the Ace of Wands, this very, very confident person, I'm seeing they could be helping you through a lot of other things in your life as well. Because I think you still are thinking about this ex. I don't think you're thinking of them in a romantic way. I don't think you want them back or anything like that. I just think there's some kind of, obviously you saw them lying or you heard this, that made you angry. But if you didn't have some thought about them, if you weren't thinking about them, they wouldn't have even registered on your radar at all, but they did, and it made you very angry. So, so when exes keep on coming up in a reading, sometimes it can be either that you're thinking about them, or they're still thinking about you, or, both. And again, it doesn't have to be a romantic way that you're thinking, but one of you is probably on the other's mind, or both. So this confident person is helping you to look past any of these old feelings. And this could be a friend, this could be a really good friend, and if they are, hang on to them. They're a very good person to have around you. They're a very inspiring person, a very positive person. And they're helping you to move forward, just like the man in this card. He's steering and he's guiding this woman into much calmer waters. She's in a kind of a very rocky sea at this time, and he's moving her into somewhere calmer, somewhere better for her. So the first card you have for your future is Judgment. So I'm seeing freedom. I'm seeing freedom in this card, but it's an interesting kind of a freedom that I'm seeing. This is freedom in letting go of things, letting go of burdens, letting go of old things that someone was carrying around. I'm saying someone because I'm not seeing that this is you letting go of things. This is somebody else. There could be a message coming to you. And I think someone's going to open up to you. Someone's going to start a conversation with you. And I'm seeing this person might want to come clean about something. They might want to tell you the truth about something. I'm not seeing this person was lying to you. So I'm not seeing it's like they were lying to you and now they're going to tell you the truth. But they were hiding things from you, and they were hiding things from a lot of people. I don't think they were hiding things to be malicious. I think they were hiding things because they were ashamed of something. They were ashamed of something they were doing, or a lifestyle. They'd gotten themselves into something like that. Now, I think, this person is going to come and speak to you. They're going to reveal this to you. And I think a lot of things, once they've revealed this to you, I think a lot of things about them are going to suddenly make sense to you. You're going to suddenly say, oh, so that's why I didn't see them on that day. That's why they were behaving like that at that time. That all makes sense now. It didn't make sense at the time, but now that they've told me this information, that makes sense. So this is all about, they're going to unburden themselves, and they're going to tell you something about themselves or their life or their lifestyle. And this is all about letting go of burdens for this person, and it's all about starting afresh for them, starting, a new slate, a clean slate. And this isn't going to be easy for them to tell you. It's really hard for them to talk about. It's a really big, terrible situation for them. So if this resonates, try not to be too harsh on them. Try not to be too judgmental. Just try to listen in the beginning. It's going to be a big thing. It's going to be hard for you to get your head around. But just try in the beginning not to kind of jump in and say anything, judge them, or say, why didn't you tell me earlier? Or why did you do that? Or, oh, why didn't you do this? Try very hard not to do that. It's going to be hard, but really, really try, because they open up to you. They're going to be opening up to you because they really trust you, and they're going to trust you not to judge them. And I think they see you as someone who probably won't judge them, and that's why they're telling you this. Now, they're probably going to tell other people after this, but I think you're probably the first person they're talking to, and that's for a reason. That's because they trust you, and because they know that you won't judge them. So be very careful to be very sensitive in the way that you handle this when they do tell you this information. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your future is the Page of Pentacles. So whoever this is that I'm seeing confiding in you, they're really, really looking to start completely afresh. It's like they want to start a new life, and they want to come clean about everything so they can do that. This card's it can be about freshness, springtime, with all of these new flowers popping up around this page's feet. And, the sun's out as well. This person also trusts you because they look up to you. You represent stability for this person. So, yeah, this could be a relative, actually. This could be a very close relative. You are close to them, but they have had some time apart from you. They might have had time apart from the rest of the family as well, because of this lifestyle or whatever this thing is they've been doing. Okay, so I'm seeing something very specific here. It might only resonate with a few people. There could be a history of depression around this person. There might even be addiction problems around this person. That might be what this thing is. So they're going to need a lot of sensitivity around them. They're going to need someone to care for them, to help them, not in an enabling way, not in someone who's going to be all kind and lovely and kind of say, well, what you're doing's fine. Not in that way, but in a no-nonsense, non-judgmental way, but in a way that's going to feel supportive to them. That's what I'm seeing. And yeah, this is a huge step. This is a huge step for them, even to tell anyone. And they're trusting you to tell you. So again, try to be there for them. Try to listen before jumping in. Even if you see solutions, don't jump in and say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Eventually, yes, say whatever you have to say in terms of ideas and what can help them. But at this early stage, just listen. They really feel like they need someone to listen to them. They might talk a lot. They might tell you a great big long lot of stories of things that have happened to them. This is like they're kind of unleashing a burden. They're getting rid of a burden. And that's what the Judgment card is all about. That's when I first saw this. It's like letting go of burdens. And so letting go of things, releasing things. So that's what they're doing, and that's what they're doing to you, because they trust you and they see you as someone stable. They see you as someone who isn't going to judge them. That's what I'm seeing again. So the last card you have for your future is the Seven of Cups. So yeah, this card is all about confusion and things like that. I'm seeing that, you are, sorry about that noise, you are going to feel a bit lost in this situation for a while with what you're hearing. It's going to be a lot to take in. So you won't quite know what to do for them for a while. You might not even know what to do with all of this information. You might be up at night thinking about it, worrying about it. Yeah, I keep on seeing them just needing someone to listen to them. The other thing I'm seeing here is that you might want to confide in someone about this as well, because you might need someone to support you in this as well, because this is a great big burden, this is a great big thing that you're going to be hearing from them. It's going to be a lot on you. It's going to be very difficult for you. So yes, get some support if you need it. Talk to someone if you need it, of course, do that. But be careful of who you speak to about this. Don't speak to anyone who you think might spread this information around or talk about this or gossip or whatever, because I think, you know, they really trust you. And if this gets around and they find out that someone spread this around, they're going to see this as a betrayal. They're going to see you as betraying them, betraying their trust. And that's the absolute last thing they want, because they really do trust you. So be very careful, and they might not keep opening up to you again if this happens. So be very careful of who you speak to. You might even want to speak to someone who knows nothing about this, doesn't know them, doesn't know you, maybe even a counsellor, maybe someone who doesn't know anything about any of these people, and obviously someone who you really, really, really trust if you do need to speak to someone.